Yo, I'm one, I'm sick. Two, see, two, I'm gonna say this and I'm gonna leave this alone. I'm gonna leave this alone, but I'm actually working on some stuff for a rehearsal later on and some other stuff and some groove school content. And I keep thinking about the Jeff Berlin conversation that just has recently resurfaced. I mean, for those who know, it's been a long thing. I want to say before I get started, I like Jeff Berlin as a guy. I like him as a guy, and I don't disagree with some of his statements. I don't like anybody bringing someone else down to promote their own thing. I don't think he does that intentionally, but that's certainly the way that it comes across. Now, I want to talk about the metronome thing. Wish I could find the video. I just watched a video of his recently, and I'm going to paraphrase where he said something to the effect of playing with the metronome is a performance thing. Playing without the metronome is the opposite of that. I would agree with that. 100% I would agree with that. That's a lot different than saying metronomes are bad. You know what I mean? And I am very much I'm not an absolutes kind of guy. I mean, the world is just too much, it depends. And so here's an example of what I'm talking about. I was putting together a lesson, a funk bass lesson. And if I tell you, that we're going to play a certain groove, right? Ooh, that's loud. If I tell you that's the groove and those are the notes, and I immediately put on a metronome, no matter how slow that is going to be a frustrating process for you, and you're not going to get it, right? You're going to quit, all right? By the way, the bass community is talking about that negative gospel player, Nameless. Oh, you mean Reggie Parker? Anyway, let me stop. I'm being silly. So if I tell you that, if I show you this groove and I say, I haven't warmed up or anything, so I sound like crap this morning. Then you guys, if you were in a private lesson or whatever, you ain't going to get that. You have to know where the notes are. You have to learn where the notes are. You have to acquire the new material. That I 100% agree with, because there is the acquisition of new material and then there's the practicing of what you've learned, right? And this would be true for any concept, any lick, any scale, whatever. If I told you, to play anything and you didn't know what it was, you would have to be comfortable. You would have to get comfortable with the technique, right? I was teaching a private lesson yesterday, and I asked the student to tell me to play a scale for me, and they've been playing a while, right? And so they were playing the scale, and it was like rushed, and it was sloppy, and things like that. And sometimes, you might think, "Oh, play me the scale. I want to see you play it as fast as possible." I don't, right? That's not going to impress me that you play a scale, So what I suggest, I'm like, look. Out of time. Can you play that scale with intention? All the notes with intention. And then can you say, well, here I'm playing the 1, I'm playing 2, I'm playing 3, I'm playing 4. You understand what I'm saying? No time has been introduced at all. So the metronome at this point is irrelevant. It's irrelevant, right? What's another example? Also, just a quick note. You guys that are playing 5-string, if you know a scale like that, right, and on 3 strings, you want to know that as many strings as you have, you want to know your scale from the the lowest string to the highest string, because those, you can't just like, that's it, I know my scale. All right, that's a story for another time. I'll give you another example about this whole metronome thing. Now, I've been playing bass for, a long time. And I am about to go rehearse with this guy, and he gave me some tunes, and I haven't really had a chance to like really, really shed them. And we're rehearsing at 2 o'clock. We're rehearsing at 2 o'clock, right? So I've listened to the tunes, but I haven't really had a chance to like get them under my fingers. And some of these tunes got licks. I'll give you this one as an example. So we got some rhythmic displacement going on there. By the way, this is on Spotify. It's Toy Sauce, Toye Sauce. Interestingly enough, I met this guy on a layover. I can't remember where I was flying from, but I was on the second leg coming back home. I think I might have been in Denver, and we sat next to each other while waiting to board, and then we sat on the plane together and talked. And turns out that he comes back and forth into New Orleans, and so he will hire musicians from New Orleans for a lot of different things. So anyway, so I'm listening to this. My experience has taught me that that is a minor pentatonic scale. I know that it is a part of the language, right? It's a part of the language that we're speaking, the funk language, this funk rock language. I know it's a riff. It's riff based, right? But that's a lot of information, right? Thanks for the super chat, Tiny. That's a lot of information, right? And so I'm giving you game right now, yo. The only reason that I'm able to pick that up quicker is because I spent time going, when I was younger, just taking my time. What are the notes? Taking it out of time. Then when I put it on and play with a recording, then I'm performing or whatever. So I agree. I do not at all believe that metronomes are bad. You need to have a sense of where beat 1 is. You need to know where you are in time. I don't think that is Jeff. I don't think that Jeff Berlin is just saying metronomes. I don't think he's saying that. I 100% hear him when he's saying, when you are acquiring new material, you need to know where the notes are. Not only do you need to know where the notes are, but you need to have the technique to play the notes. Then start putting them in time. That's what I hear. in that thing. Now, with all that, I need to go get my behind back into the shed because some of these songs are like, whoa, that's a little trickier than I thought it was going to be. But take everything with a grain of salt. We're not curing cancer playing bass. Ain't, at the end of the day, I think it's just kind of, if you are here and you want to get here, in that interview, he simultaneously, yeah, I mean, because we can't just like, I don't care what it is, man. Like, so much of life is like, it depends. You know what I mean? It depends on context is key. So if you are here and you see a person that's here, well, you want to know what's the most efficient way to get from here to get to over here. Right? So if I'm able to pick up on a line, I got to be able to, and I'm teaching somebody, I got to say, well, listen, here's what my thought process is. I would take lessons from people back in the days and I would be like, well, that's nice that you can do that, but can you explain to me step by step how to get there? But you have to, if you don't have a sense of where musical time is, then what good are you? Right? But I don't think at all. He doesn't think that. But I just want to say from my mouth, excuse me, you have the acquisition of new material, which means that you have to, I wish I had the video up that I saw yesterday, where he's like learning music out of time. Here's another example. Or, now, damn, I can do that. I can do that pretty much now without thinking about it. It ain't start out that way. Okay. Boom. I break down that one part. You understand? I'm exaggerating right now, but taking it out of time before and then putting it in time. You understand what I'm saying? Taking it out of time and then putting it together. Anywho, I'm gonna get back to the shed myself. Appreciate y'all watching. Y'all go easy on that dude and go easy on me and go easy on the other guy too. He. I don't know what his problem is, but my platform is not built on talking shit about other people. So I say all that jokingly. So anyway, maybe need some Dayquil. Peace, y'all.